And some of the different steps would think
Well, this book, it's intellectualism. I mean, you're talking about what Rick Santorum said a few days ago. That people who go to colleges are snobs. That's as anti-intellectual as it gets, and that's a guy running for president of our country. It's despicable.
Thank you all. Thank you all. We're coming today. We're coming today. We're gonna leave. We're gonna leave in about 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Fight back! Education under attack! What do? Stand up, fight back!
We the students!
We the students!
Hold these truths!
Hold these truths!
To be self-evident!
To be self-evident!
That education!
That education!
Is a fundamental right!
Is a fundamental right!
That education!
That education!
Is intrinsically valuable!
Is intrinsically valuable!
That all persons must!
That all persons must!
Have equal access!
Have equal access! Education is a right! It's a right! It's a right! Education is a right! It's a right! It's a right! Education is a right! It's a right! What do we want? Education! When do we want it? Now! Education! When do we want it? Now! When do we want it? Now! When do we want it? Education! Now! What do we want? Education! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Education! When do we want it?
Hey man, I've noticed all these people have put signs based on books.
Yeah.
Is that coordinated effort? Did you choose?
Somebody made a bunch of signs, including these, ahead of the protests. So one of the things they made were these book boards, which had been, I believe, had been used in some other protests as like shields against, police. Hopefully, we'll have to use them that way here. But
do you think that's a metaphor?
Probably.
I'm here because it's too difficult for people in this country who don't have the money to go to school, and it should be an equal right for everyone to an education. And it's not fair to everyone in this country who isn't rich and isn't a man and isn't white to go to school, And something has to change, or else nothing's gonna change.
I'm here for my future, My education is my future, and they treat education like it's a freaking commodity. It's not a commodity, it's my future, man, it's my life. And I'm not a commodity, so my education shouldn't be either.
They say tuition hikes, we say students right.
Strip away vital consumer protections and refinancing rights, to categorize student debt differently from all different types of debt. You can't even discharge student debt in bankruptcy if you're 100% disabled and unable to work, because thanks to the laws, they can garnish your disability. Doesn't matter if you have MS, doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair, hell, it doesn't even matter if you're dead, because they'll just go after your next of kin. If you can't pay your Sallie Mae loans, if you graduated and you're unemployed, underemployed, if you're waitressing, can't make ends meet, you have to pay $50 per loan for 3-month blocks of forbearance to prove that you can't pay. For me, because I have 3 loans and Sallie Mae took away the option of consolidation in 2008, I have to pay $150 every 3 months just to prove that I can't pay. Meanwhile, thanks to my crazy interest rate of nearly 10%, my total debt still grows every 3 months by $1,100. So Sallie Mae double dips. So we're here, Sallie Mae. It's time for you to listen, I'm not going anywhere. I was here 3 weeks ago. I've got an army of 150,000 people standing with me. I'm not going to forget because you have ruined my financial future. All I fucking want is to be able to buy a fucking house one day. And I don't have parents to move back home to. I need to be able to rent a fucking apartment in my name.
We're with you, girl.
Not just for the rich and white.
What do we want? Now! What do we want? Education! What do we want?
now! My name's Isaiah.
My name's Isaiah.
I'm a student at George Washington University.
I'm a student at George Washington University.
And I have $66,000 in student debt.
And I have $66,000 in student debt.
And I'm not even done.
And I'm not even done.
I'm a faculty member at American University.
I'm a faculty member at American University.
And a member of the American Association of University Professors.
And a member of the American Association of University Professors.
That has passed a resolution.
That has passed a resolution.
For free higher education.
For free higher education.
Remove corporate influence from education.
Remove corporate influence from education.
The outsized influence.
The outsized influence
of capitalist economics.
Of capitalist economics.
And neoliberal ideology.
And neoliberal ideology.
In the educational system.
In the educational system.
Undermines. The pursuit of knowledge.
The pursuit of knowledge.
And social development.
And social development.
As the equally important goals of education.
As the equally important goals of education.
Oh, yeah. I am heartsick.
I am heartsick.
To hear students coming out of school.
To hear students coming out of school.
With over $100,000 in debt.
With over $100,000 in debt.
Of which perhaps 50,000 will go in interest. To financial institutions. Like Sally Mae. Shame. Education that used to be. A way of diminishing class inequalities. Has now become a way. Of increasing them.
I'm a legislative assistant. For Congressman Hanson Clark. Of Detroit, Michigan. I'm here speaking on his behalf. He stands in solidarity and support of everyone here and all students burdened by student loan debt.
I think Arm Duncan, if he wants to be an appropriate education secretary, should be educated. He should have a good reading list. I have in my hand 2 books. One is The Pedagogy of the Oppressed. The other is Howard's and People's History Today. My future is not a commodity.
Multicultural education. Ethnic studies. African American studies. Latino studies. Women and gender studies. And various studies from across the board. Are being cut. Because corporate influence see a way.
Does not see a way.
To commodify those educations.
To commodify those educations.
They think
that
as students, we are supposed to be. Trained and docile. To become. Corporate workers. Corporate lackeys. To support their needs. In their offices. In their stacks. And their influences.
I am here because Secretary Duncan asked me to listen to you and to receive any materials that you might have. I have the high school students' books. We're glad to see that high school students are reading books at such high level. And I have your document in my hand. I heard each point that was made. And I will deliver this document directly to the Secretary. And I want you to know that during this, that I was really listening. And we are really listening. And if you have any other documents that you would like to share with me, I will promise you that I will deliver them directly to the Secretary and the senior staff. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Thank you. When can you deliver us an answer? And I demand right now that you give us a date. As to when the secretary will answer us.
Mic check. I have one more point to make to the Secretary. I enlisted in the Army at 17. Because I come from a poor family. So I could pay for college. I went to Iraq in 2008. I still can't afford to go to college. How many of our soldiers have passed away to pay for college? College is a right. You shouldn't go to other countries and help murder, imprison, and spread American imperialism. Just to pay for college. So I want an answer from the Secretary. How is he going to save high school students from going to war? Who just want to go to college.
I have given my contact information to Isaiah. And I have his contact information too. I will do the best that I can. To get these questions responded to. In terms of when will the Secretary read the documents? I can make no promise on the two books. But I can promise you this document will be brought to him directly today. And I hope that we can have a response to you in the next week.